At least 11 people were reportedly killed by suspected armed herders who invaded some communities in Kwande local government area of Benue State on Christmas Day. Now, the attackers were said to have invaded its Yuluf, Se Azege, and Eniyevia communities in the Nkonon district of Turan in Kwande local government area, turning the Christmas celebration of joy into sorrow. A resident of the now deserted Mbaduru Council Ward, who is taking refuge in Jato Aqua Lawrence Akerigba, told newsmen that the attackers abducted 7 children, with the oldest being 6 years, while the youngest is 2 years of age. According to him, the attackers invaded Yav and Mbakilol council wards of Turan community at about 4 p.m. when most residents were at home with their families enjoying the cool breeze of the Yuletide, killing 11, injuring scores, and abducted children, while others were still missing. And to unpack this, we're joined by former chairman, Zamfara Committee on Prosecution of Bandits and Related Offences, and that's Abdullahi Shinkafi. Good afternoon. Glad to have you join me on the news.
Good afternoon, companion of the season.
I wish you the same.
I wish you Merry Christmas. Thank you for having me.
Many thanks. Let me kick off by asking, regarding this violence in the Middle Belt, Benue State precisely, is becoming a recurring decimal. Recall in 2023, about 160 lives were lost during Christmas time. Why is violence and attacks becoming such a repeated occurrence during the Christmas time in the Middle Belt?
You see, it is very quite unfortunate and heartbreaking and disheartening when the Christian faithful at this holy season of Christmas are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, and some heartless invaders, the armed bandits, attacked the Kwande community and launched rampage. About 11 people were killed, several people were heavily injured. So it is a very unfortunate situation, and it is lack of good security intelligence gathering. If this thing have happened in the previous years, the security must be on alert. They should take a serious security measure to curtail these invaders from perpetrating this crime. Since it has been used to happen during the festivity period, and the Inspector General of Police and other security agencies has informed the members of the public and all those security agencies to be very vigilant during this festivity season. So it is very quite unfortunate, and there's a security failure on the part of the security, and also on the part of the internal security. There's no internal security governing. And some of the community in such a community is supposed to give some intelligence report on the activities of these invaders or criminal armed bandit in such a locality. And you know, since when the last administration of autumn signed non-grazing law in Benue State, is part of the what is the root cause of all this crime and criminality in Benue State. And all hands must be on deck to fight this criminal and their sponsors.
Now, you touched on something quite interesting, Mr. Shinkafi. You talked about the no grazing law in Benue State being the root cause of all of these attacks and violence. How can we address them to prevent future attacks?
You see, there is need for improvement in the security gathering, and there is need for more deployment of this security personnel in all these ungoverned spaces. You know, Benue State has share boundary with Raba State, and Raba State share boundary with Cameroon. And there is this river Benue, where these smaller and larger arms can come through the sea and also to be used by these criminals. And you know, Taraba, Adamawa, and Benue, and even Ribaneja, all these arms and ammunition can be smuggled through the sea, and this criminal can also have access to this small and lighter arms. So these are some of the root cause that should be a serious security governing and community policing. And then also security chiefs in Nigeria. If you look at the 2025 budget, more than 4.9 trillion was appropriated in 2025 fiscal year. Yet, all the money paid into the Nigerian budget have not changed the narratives. So there is need to go into advanced technology in fighting this crime and criminality instead of using conventional police. And there is need also to apply some methodology. You know, in this type of situation, you cannot only use kinetic approach to solve the problem. Then you have to use non-kinetic approach to also solve the problem by using traditional rulers, community leaders, and also other political leaders.
Now, just to follow your train of thoughts, Mr. Shinkafi, you touched on the coastlines in the Middle Belt, such as Taraba, Adamawa, and those areas where more often, you know, arms and ammunition are smuggled in. We understand the governor of the state has urged security agencies to fish out perpetrators of these attacks. What do you think could have been done to prevent such attack in the first place?
Yeah, there should be a deployment of naval officers who will now look at the sea to take care of the sea. Because as I have told you, that sea right river Benue is connected with the river Niger, even up to Cross River, even up to Atlantic Ocean. So there is need for serious surveillance in our sea and in our land border. All these arms and ammunition are being smuggled into Nigerian shore through the sea and the land border. So this is what I'm telling you. And also, you know, Benue State and share boundary with Nasarawa State, Plateau State, and also Taraba State. All these states, Kogi State, are some of the volatile area in the Middle Belt. So it is very easy for some of these criminals to gang and launch havoc. Many local government in Benue State are not habitable. I have been to some of part of this Benue State to visit a friend in Benue State. I have seen many villages have been displaced by these criminal elements. More than 1 million people have been displaced, are now IDPs in their country home. It is very shameful.
Now, talking about this, very harrowing incident, which has become a recurring, occurrence in the Middle Belt, Benue State precisely. You've touched on the need for non-kinetic approach in tackling the problems. Would you say our security architecture can effectively tackle crime and violence, or there's just something missing? Is it a lack of intelligence or lack of manpower?
You see, most of this security, I've said it earlier, it's not an issue of lack of manpower or lack of funds. If you look at the 2024 budget, more than 3.9 billion was appropriated for security and defense. And in this year also, this year budget, defense have took over getting to 4.8% of the national budget. Yet it has not changed the narratives. So what I'm saying, there is need for this kinetic approach. You see, Plateau State is one of the volatile states in the Middle Belt, Nasarawa State, even Benue State, and many other, even Kogi State. So there is need to improve the technology in fighting this crime, using drones, using artificial intelligence. You understand why the government even for a cure Tucano jet fighter, yet we have not seen this Tucano jet fighter fighting this crime and criminality in Nigeria. This is the truth of the situation.
Indeed, we do hope a lasting solution is found to the crime and criminality happening in the Middle Belt, particularly Benue State. Many thanks indeed for your time on the news. Abdullahi Shinkafi, former chairman, Zamfara Committee on Prosecution of Bandits and Related Offences. Many thanks indeed.